Class 4 Social Studies. Good morning, children. Today's topic is the Northern Mountains. Chapter 2. In this lesson, you will learn about the Northern Mountains and the Himalayas, the climate, natural vegetation, and wildlife of the Northern Mountains, the importance of the Northern Mountains for India. So let us learn about the Northern Mountains. The Northern Mountains include the Himalayas, the Karakoram, the northeastern hill ranges, or the Purvachal hill ranges. The Himalayan range is the highest mountain range in the world. The Northern Mountains comprise of some of the highest peaks in the world. Mount Everest is the highest peak, while K2 or Mount Godwin Austen is the second highest peaks in the world. Children, let us see some of the important peaks of the Northern Mountains are listed below. Name of the peak: Mount Everest. Its height is 8,848 meters. K2, Mount Godwin Austen. Its height is 8,611 meters. Kanchenjunga. This mountain is the third highest mountain, which height is 8,598 meters. The next is Makalu. Its height is 8,481 meters. Then Dholgari. Its height is 8,172 meters. Annapurna. Its height is 8,091 meters. Nanga Parbat. Its height is 8,125 meters. Nanda Devi. Its height is 7,817 meters. So children, these are some important peaks. Just learn these peaks and remember their heights. Let us learn about the Himalayas. Everybody has seen the Himalayas? Yes? It is of white colors with huge mountain range, right? Let us learn more about it. The word Himalaya means abode of snow, as a large part of these mountains is covered with snow throughout the year. So you have seen on the Himalayan mountains there is a layer of white color snow full of ice, and it is called abode of snow. The Himalayan range stretch from Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh in the north to Arunachal Pradesh in the east. So children, you should know from which area, from which state to which state it is connected, our Himalayan range, right? The Himalayan range includes 3 parallel ranges. So what are these 3 parallel ranges? The Greater Himalayas, which is also known as Himadri. The Middle Himalayas, also known as Himachal. And the Outer Himalayas, also known as Shivalik. So these are the 3 parallel ranges and we called by such names. Remember this, okay? Next is the Greater Himalayan Range. Let us learn about this range. This range is the northernmost and the highest range of the Himalayas. The peaks of this range are always covered with snow. Therefore, they give rise to a number of glaciers. Now, what are glaciers? Glaciers are slow moving rivers of ice. You have seen on the mountains that the mountains are covered with white white thing that is almost called ice. It's like snow, but they are called glaciers. So it is moving slowly like rivers. That's why it is said. Okay. Several rivers such as Ganges, Indus and Yamuna originate from these glaciers. Now these glaciers, as I told you, these are the kind of slow moving rivers of ice. Okay, and these this slow moving rivers of ice, when it moves slowly on the land, it converted into the rivers. So they are called Ganges, Indus and Yamuna. So these rivers are coming from these glaciers. Alright. The rivers Ganga and Yamuna originate from the Gangotri and Yamunotri glaciers respectively. So the rivers like Ganga, you know, this is very holy river. People used to worship. Okay. So Ganga and Jamuna, these rivers are coming from which glaciers? Ganga is coming from Gangotri glacier and Yamuna river is coming from Yamunotri glaciers. So remember this. Okay. Now let's go to the middle Himalayan range, the second range of the Himalaya. This range is situated south of the Greater Himalayas. Though the peaks of this range are not as high as the Greater Himalayas, some of them are still covered with snow. This range consists of forest-covered mountains and fertile valleys. Now what is valley? A valley is a low lying area between two hills or mountains where people live. Some of the major valleys of the middle Himalayan range are Kangra and Nainital. You people have visited to such places in your summer vacations. Okay, so let's see, there are more hill stations. There are many beautiful hill stations in the middle Himalayan range like Mussoorie, Shimla, Kullu and Manali. Now let's come to the third part of the Himalayan range. This is called the Outer Himalayan Range, also known as Shivalik. Yes, this range is the southernmost range of the Himalayas. It is also the lowest range of the Himalayas. This mountain range is covered with thick forests and it is rich in wildlife. There are many mountain passes in the Himalayas. Now what is a pass? A route through a mountain range is called a mountain pass. So from one mountain range, if you want to cross to the other, there is a route in between and that route is called a mountain pass. Remember this, okay? Next, people use passes to cross mountains. Some of the important passes in the northern mountains are Jozila, Khardungala, Changla, Baralacha La, Shipki La, Rohtang Pass, Nathula. The word La, L-A, means pass. So children, I have already told you, pass is a route between the two mountain ranges where people use it to cross one mountain to another. The highest motorable road in the world is at Khardungla at a height of 5,359 meters. So you should remember, the highest road in the world is where you can move your vehicles. Okay, you can go and pass through this road is called as Khardungla. You can see the map of the Himalayan range. The red color, can you see this on the map? Yes, the red color which is marked, you can see the different ranges of the Himalayas. It is starting from the top of the state of our India, Jammu Kashmir, and it's going to the left. So you can see here China, Tibet, the Mount Everest, Kanchenjunga, so many highest peak in our world, and these you can locate in this map. Let us come and learn about Karakoram mountain ranges. The Karakoram mountain range lie to the northwest of the Himalayas beyond the Indus River. Now children, where this Karakoram mountain range is situated, it is situated beyond the Indus River. The second highest peak in the world, Mount Godwin Austen, which is also known as K2, is in this mountain range. So you should know about this second highest peak, which is called K2, and this is situated in this Karakoram mountain ranges. Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh lie in this mountain range. Let us learn about Purvachal hill ranges. The Purvachal hill ranges lie to the northeastern part of the northern mountains. These hill ranges are not very high. They are covered with thick forests and are rich in wildlife. These hill ranges cover the northeastern states of Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura and Meghalaya. So children, you know about your northeastern states of India. So these are some states which lie in these Purvachal hill ranges. Now let us find out the climate of these mountains. The northern mountains have a major effect on the climate of our country. So how it has an effect, let's learn. They form a barrier for the monsoon winds. So you can see here we have these mountains, very important. Why? Because all the monsoons winds, they form they form a barrier, just a great wall. You have heard about a great wall of China. So these monsoon winds also work as a barrier on these northern mountains. Okay, they also cause heavy snowfall in some of the places located in this region. You have seen that whole Himalaya is covered with a very thick ice snowfall, which is known as. So you can see here in this Himalayan range. The regions in this greater Himalayas witness extreme cold, and the weather and the climate is very cold. Okay, During winter, the temperature dips below the freezing point. And when winter comes, the climate of this area, the mountain ranges, is covered with literally ice. Let's learn more about it. The middle Himalayas have a summer temperature of around 17 degree Celsius. So it is telling about the temperature of the middle Himalayas, which is also called as Himachal. People visit the mountain valleys and hill stations during summer to enjoy the pleasant weather. The Shivaliks are at a height of 1250 meters above sea level. These mountains are not very cold, but they get heavy rainfall. So children, you can just see here and learn about the outer mountain range of Himalayas, which is also known as Shivaliks. They are at the height of just 1250 meters above sea level, and these, as I've told you, these mountains are not very cold compared to the middle Himalayas or the greater Himalayas, but they get heavy rainfall. Okay. Now let us learn about the vegetation of the northern mountain ranges. What kind of vegetation we have? There is sparse vegetation in the greater Himalayas. Sparse means very little, insufficient. These include shrubs, mosses, lichens, and wild flowers like blue poppies and edelweiss. The natural vegetation of the middle Himalayas consists of pine, oak, poplar, walnut, spruce, fir, cypress, juniper, and birch. This region has many orchards of apples, plums, peaches, pears, cherries, and almonds. The forest areas of the Terai regions of the outer Himalayas have been cleared to grow crops such as rice, sugarcane, and wheat. The vegetation of this region consists of trees like kikar, sal, teak, and babool. So children, this kind of vegetation which is naturally is there, and we also grow some crops like rice. So just learn about the vegetation of the northern mountain range. Okay. The slopes of these mountains are used for agriculture purposes. So the Tarai region, which is cleared for this agriculture purpose, you can grow few crops. This type of farming is called terrace farming. Alright. Now children, did you know the foothills of the Himalayas are called the Tarai? Tenzing Norgay and Edmund Hillary were the first to climb Mount Everest in 1953. So who are the people who climbed first time on this Mount Everest? Tenzing Norgay and Edmund Hillary. Okay, just learn this. Now let us learn about the wildlife of the northern mountain range. Yaks, goats, snow leopards, musk deer, and wild sheep are some of the wildlife of the northern mountains. The forests in the middle Himalayan range have tigers, leopards, rhinoceros, and many varieties of deer. The forests in the outer Himalayan range have hyenas, jackals, elephants, and tigers. There are many national parks and wildlife sanctuaries in the northern mountains. Some of them are Jim Corbett National Park and Rajaji National Park. Children, you might have heard about the national park which is called Jim Corbett, and you will see many animals like tigers, leopards, rhinoceros, different kinds of deer, elephants, and so on. So you will find, when you will visit this national park, you will see such wild animals. Now let us learn why these northern mountains are important and how it is important. They act as a natural barrier protecting our borders. They prevent the cold winds of northern Asia from entering our country. The forests in these mountains provide us with timber, medicines, and other useful things. The northern mountains stop the monsoon winds from going further north, resulting in heavy rainfall in the plains of India. Several rivers originating in these mountains not only provide us with water but help us in generating electricity by constructing dams on them. So you can see here why these northern mountains are important for our country, right? The other countries, uh, people cannot enter like this from our borders, so these are the natural barrier. Then the climate or the other cold winds which is coming from the northern Asia, it cannot um, enter into our country like this. Okay, it prevent from such winds or other natural climate calamities. And you can see here uh, how important the forest of these mountains are, how useful it is for medicines and other things. So you should know about the importance of our northern mountains and how it is helpful for generating the electricity by constructing dams. Okay, let us summarize this chapter. The northern mountains include the Himalayas, Karakoram range, and the Purvanchal hill ranges. Himalaya means the abode of snow. The Himalayas comprise of these parallel ranges. I have told you the three names. They are Greater Himalayas, which is called Himadri, then Middle Himalayas, which is called Himachal, and Outer Himalayas, which is called Shivalik. So these are the three parallel ranges of Himalayas. Now, the world's highest peak is called Mount Everest. It is in the Greater Himalayas. The Middle Himalayas are known as Himachal. I've already told you. It has a lot of valleys which attract tourists from all over the world. So it is also known as Himachal Pradesh, one of the state of our India, and we have lot of valleys where you can go and visit and enjoy your vacations. The southernmost range of the Himalayas is Shivalik, which is the outermost part of this Himalayan range. The Himalayas protect our borders. So why it is important? So you can see here the northern mountain range, which is our Himalayas, how it protects. Okay. Children, now it's time to do some exercises. fill in the blanks. The Karakoram mountain range is a part of the Northern Mountains. A row of mountains is called a range. Mount Everest is the highest peak in the world. Manali is a famous hill station of the Middle Himalayan range. The foothill of the outer Himalayas is known as Tarai. So these are some fill in the blanks you do in your notebook with a good handwriting. Now answer the following questions. First question is, which mountain ranges form the Northern Mountains? Answer is the Himalayas, Karakoram range and the Purvanchal hill ranges. Question number 2. Describe the climate of the Northern Mountains. The answer is, I have divided into 3 parts. So let's take the first one. The climate of the Northern Mountains are extremely cold. Second part is, they form a barrier for the monsoon winds. Third, they also cause heavy snowfall. So write 3 points for the climate of the Northern Mountains. Third question is, it has 2 parts. First part is, why is a pass an important part of a range? The answer is, a pass is an important part of a range because it provides an easy route through mountain ranges. The second part of this question is, how does it help humans? The answer is, it helps humans to cross steep mountain ranges. Question number 4. Why are there so many national parks and wildlife sanctuaries in the Northern Mountains? The answer is, there are so many national parks and wildlife sanctuaries in the Northern Mountains of India to protect or conserve our wildlife as they are undergoing poaching. Poaching means the illegal hunting of wild animals and various risks of endangered species. Now children, it's a time of homework. You have to do in your homework notebook and do it yourself. Read the chapter properly and you will find all the answers. Question number 1. Define the following terms. I have given you 4 terms here. You need to find out all the terms and write down in one line. First one is valley, then Tarai, then glacier and pass. Question number 2. Name the highest motorable road in the world. Question number 3. Which glacier river Ganga originates from? Question number 4. What is the another name of the Greater Himalayas? Question number 5. Make a poster of the Northern Mountains and write some information about it. Just mention 2 to 3 lines about Northern Mountains and make a poster of a Northern Mountains. Just find out the picture of Himalayas and draw on a chart paper and write something about Himalayas. Okay, so do it neatly and sincerely. Thank you.